Hello, guys. This is my first video. If you like this, please like and subscribe the channel. So let's start. What if the weakest guy on Earth became the only one who could fight back against an alien invasion? This is the story of Guy, a janitor, an unranked, someone the world calls useless. Let's start without any further delay. It all started with an invasion. Giant alien monsters called Evas descended from the sky. They tore cities apart. People ran, buildings fell, chaos spread. Humanity was powerless, until a miracle happened. A mysterious energy called Element Ava awakened abilities in people. And with those powers, humanity began to fight back. Today, the strongest warriors are trained at elite academies. One of them is the Hachi School. And working quietly inside that school is Guy. Guy is not a student. He has no alpha ability. He works as a janitor. He's unranked, powerless, ignored. Soldiers toss him brooms and insults. Students laugh behind his back. One says, "Hey, you without alpha abilities, clean this up." Before continuing the story any longer, let me first tell you about the power scale of this world. The thing is, in this world, humanity ranks individuals based on their alpha ability levels. The levels divided are in 7 categories: S, A, B, C, D, E, F. S to D are special soldiers. E and F are civilian reserves. People created this system to respond quickly to EVA. Amidst all this, Gu is the only human who didn't awaken to the alpha abilities. Let's move on to the ongoing story now. Guy bent down to pick up the trash that had been kicked aside. As he stood up, he looked at the bully standing before him and said calmly, "Rank doesn't matter." But in his mind, Guy thought to himself, "I have no intention of losing to these guys." Just as the words left his mouth, the bully struck him in the face. The force of the blow sent Guy stumbling back. "Don't order me around," the bully snapped. "You're just unranked trash. I'm A rank." A flame ignited in the bully's palm as he took a step forward, his voice full of cruelty. "Do you remember the beatings I used to give you back in middle school? If you don't start listening, I'll burn the rule of alpha, ability supremacy into your flesh." But before he could act, something strange happened. The flame in his hand froze solid. Startled, the bully spun around to see a girl walking toward them. Her long hair shimmered like crystal, and she wore the Hachi school uniform. She was Hyoga Orin, a first-year student and an S-rank candidate known throughout the school as the Ice Wall Witch. "You should be using your alpha ability against the Evas," she said coolly, "not against your classmates." The bully scowled but didn't argue. After a tense pause, he turned and left without another word. Once he was gone, Orin turned to Guy with a stern look. "You shouldn't defy orders from those of higher rank," she said. "In emergency situations, high rankers have the authority to eliminate low-ranked individuals." Guy gave a faint smile and said, "Thanks for picking up the can." He then looked her in the eyes and added, "Rank and alpha abilities don't matter. A person's worth is determined by their actions." With that, Guy turned to leave. "I'm going to clean," he said. "It's my job to support the Hachi school students who protect everyone." Orin watched him walk away, puzzled. What a strange guy, she thought. As Guy walked down the hall, memories from his past came flooding back. He remembered the way people used to laugh at him, mock him for having no alpha ability. But amid those painful memories was the soft, warm voice of his mother. "It's okay if you don't have an alpha ability," she would say, brushing his hair back gently. "Alpha abilities don't define your worth. What matters is what you choose to do with your life. Be useful to someone in your own way." After some time passes, in a quiet hospital room, Guy stood beside his mother's bed. She lay unconscious, her chest rising and falling slowly. Machines beeped in the background. A doctor stood beside him looking serious. "It seems your mother couldn't withstand the effects of her own alpha ability," he said. "There is no treatment available." As Guy stood in stunned silence, 2 nurses walked by behind him, whispering just loud enough to be heard. "Did you hear? They say Guy and his mother don't even have alpha abilities." Their faces were twisted in disdain as they whispered to each other, loud enough for Guy to hear. "No way. 2 unranked people," one scoffed. "How worthless," the other added. "That boy and his mother, they're nothing without an alpha ability." Guy clenched his fists. Their words pierced through him like knives. What's so great about reliability, he thought bitterly. What's so great about ranks? He tried to stay quiet, but the anger and sorrow boiling inside him reached their limit. He turned and shouted at the nurses, voice trembling with emotion. Don't decide my worth or my mom's on your own. They stopped in shock as Guy continued, louder now, every word burning with conviction. A person's worth is determined by what they do, not by ranks and not by alpha abilities. The nurses said nothing, stunned into silence by his outburst. Return to present day. Back in the present, Guy walked through the school courtyard with a broom in his hand and determination in his heart. His past may have been full of ridicule and rejection, but he hadn't forgotten his mother's words. And no matter what anyone said, he had chosen his path. To be useful, to protect in his own way. After finishing all the cleaning and maintenance work inside the school, Guy stepped outside to handle the outdoor duties. As he walked toward the training grounds, he noticed a large group of students standing in formation. They were lined up and beginning their warm-up exercises. At the front stood a Hachi school instructor, next to a large reinforced cage. Inside the cage were several Evas, hostile creatures the students were trained to fight. The instructor raised his voice to address the students. These are C-rank Evas, he announced. Since all of you in this class are B-rank and higher, you are expected to defeat them within 1 minute. The cage doors opened, and the training began. The Evas charged out onto the field. In mere seconds, the bully and Arene stepped forward, both launching their attacks without hesitation. With a single strike each, they took down the Evas before anyone else could react. The other students gasped, amazed by their overwhelming strength and speed. Guy stood quietly at the edge, watching the training session. But before he could reflect on what he had seen, the sky suddenly darkened. A massive thunder beam crashed down onto Hachi Academy, striking in District D48. The ground trembled. Then, right in front of Guy, an Eva landed, emerging from the smoke and debris. Its presence was terrifying, far more intense than the C-rank Evas from earlier. What will happen next? Will Guy unlock his hidden power, or will someone save him? To be continued.